Hello everyone, welcome to another session of Class 9 Mathematics, and I am your Anu for MathSchool.1. We have completed some problems in rational exponents last class, and this class will be seeing about rationalization. Okay, so what do you mean by rationalization? Rationalization, as I said, we have irrational numbers like root 2, root 3 and root 5, and expressions also involving irrational numbers, isn't it? So we have many such irrational numbers and expressions also involving irrational numbers. And let's see how the irrational numbers behave with the operations like multiplication, division and addition. And in this process, making this irrational number into rational numbers. And where do we make that? Regarding fractions, that is, when a single number is given, a single number root 2 is an irrational number, as we know. It is also known as a surd. See, a term is given to the irrational numbers. It is also known as surds. So surds involving operations involving surds, whenever we encounter these irrational numbers, we try to make them into rational numbers so that it becomes easier for us to simplify. Okay, so how do we do that? So if at all we have, see, we always see the denominator of a fraction. See, if 1 by root 2, this is of the form p by q, it is a fraction, and we see the denominator. In the denominator, if there is an irrational number, we try to rationalize it. That is, we try to make the denominator a rational number. So how do we do this? That is, we have the same number to be multiplied in the numerator and the denominator. We know that a fraction has numerator and the denominator. So the numerator and the denominator are multiplied by the rationalizing factor. The rationalizing factor of root 2 is itself is root 2. Okay, so because why root 2 is multiplied? Because root 2 into root 2 will give you just 2. See, I have made this irrational number as a rational number here, isn't it? So root 2 divided by 2 now has been, this 1 by root 2 has been rationalized to root 2 divided by 2. That is your answer. Okay, so this is how we rationalize an irrational number which when occurs in the denominator of a fraction. Okay, now if a single number is given, single irrational number is given, it is easier for us. We just multiply it by the same number in the numerator and denominator to rationalize it. But when an expression is given like 1 divided by 2 plus root 3, I need to multiply and divide by the rationalizing factor, which is 2 minus root 3. And what is this 2 minus root 3? This 2 plus root 3 becomes 2 minus root 3. See, plus becomes minus here, and this is known as the conjugate. What is this called? This is called the conjugate, which changes the sign and not the numbers. See, 2 plus root 3 becomes 2 minus root 3. If there is a plus root b, then the rationalizing factor becomes a minus root b. If there is root a plus root b, then the rationalizing factor will be root a minus root b. So this is the conjugate. If minus, then it becomes plus. So the conjugate always takes the opposite sign in between. So this is called conjugate, and the numerator and the denominator is multiplied by the conjugate of the denominator. Now do you understand? Just to cancel the effect of the irrational number, or to make it as a rationalizing, to make it a rational number, and this is called rationalization. And we will now see some problems in that, so that you will be able to understand more clearly with the examples. Now the first one, for example, see, root 16, fifth root of 16 into fifth root of 2. So this is just a simplification process. First we'll start with simplification. So then and there I'll justify the steps we follow and the laws for the steps we do. So now this can be written as 16 into 2 to the 5th root. So now how it is done? This is done according to the law of exponent, which is equal to AB whole root power n. So this is power of product rule we have already seen. If the powers are taken separately and they are multiplied, they can be multiplied within the and will have the same power. The product will have the same power. So that is how we do this. So 16 into 2 is 32. 32 to the 5th root. So what is 32 to the 5th root? So I take it like this. 2 power 5 is 32, isn't it? So 2 power 5, and we see 2 to the power 5 here, and this root 5 can be written as 1 by 5, isn't it? Because see, a to the power root n becomes a to the power 1 by n, isn't it? So 5, and now according to power of power rule, this gets multiplied. A to the power m to the whole power n becomes a power mn, isn't it? So that is why, so 5 gets cancelled and the answer is 2 for us. So now do you understand how do we simplify using laws of exponents and the roots also? So this is one kind of example involving rational exponents, and the next one is root of 4th root of 1250 to 4th root of 2. Okay, so this is what we did earlier was the product, and now it is quotient. That is, take the whole root, whole 4th root of 1250 divided by 2, but 1250 divided by 2 is nothing but 625, isn't it? Now 625. So what is 625? How 625 can be rewritten as 5 to the power 4. 5 5s are 25, 25 5s are 125, and 125 5s are 625. So 5 power 4, the whole power 1 by 4 is equal to 4 into 1 by 4, 4 gets cancelled. So the answer is 5. So now do you understand? Okay. The next one is, so now we'll come to the rationalization problem. 2 divided by 3 root 3. Now we need to simplify this. 2 divided by 3 root 3. I told you, look at the denominator. You see what is in the denominator. If the denominator contains only the irrational number, then the rationalization factor for this is just root 3, isn't it? So there is only one irrational number. So we multiply and divide by this irrational number so that we get 2 root 3 divided by 3 into 3. That is 2 by 9 root 3. If at all I can simplify the fraction, I can simplify it. Otherwise, I can leave it as it is because it is already in the lowest form. Okay. So this is how I rationalize 2 divided by 3 root 3. It has just a single irrational number. Okay. So the next one is, we'll move on to see root 2 plus 1 divided by root 5. So here the numerator has some irrational numbers, but we don't consider the numerator. Just see the denominator, it has an irrational number in it. So multiply it and divide by the irrational number. So you see the rationalizing factor is root 5. So root 5 into root 2 plus 1 divided by root 5 into root 5 is 5, isn't it? So that becomes root 10 plus root 5 divided by 5. So this is your answer. Do you understand? So this is how we rationalize. Now our fifth sum is, see, this involves an expression root 5 plus root 6 divided by root 5 minus root 6. As I told you, if you have an expression containing irrational numbers, you need to multiply and divide by the conjugate of the denominator. So what is the conjugate of the denominator? Yes, it is root 5 plus root 6. Okay, so root 5 plus root 6 gets multiplied and divided, gets multiplied for into both numerator and denominator. Now your expression will become root 5 plus root 6 the whole square divided by what is in the denominator. It is as of the form a plus b and a minus b. A plus b into a minus b will give you a squared minus b squared. So root 5 the whole square minus root 6 the whole square. Now expand the numerator. It becomes root 5 squared plus root 6 squared plus 2 times root 5 into root 6 divided by the numerator becomes 5 minus 6. Isn't it? Root 5 squared minus root 6 squared is 5 minus 6. Now what is root 5 squared? It is 5 plus 6 plus 2 root 30. Okay. Divided by minus 1. This is minus 1. Now 11 plus 2 root 30, and here there is one minus sign. I take this minus sign to the numerator and it becomes minus 11 plus 2 root 30. Now do you understand how do we simplify terms containing irrational numbers in the denominator? Okay. In the denominator, if you see a term, just multiply and divide by its conjugate. But the denominator, the conjugate of the denominator. Okay, you understand? So that is how we rationalize. So what is the purpose of rationalization? What is the purpose of rationalizing terms? That is, we don't want to have irrational numbers in the denominator, because simplifying using irrational numbers, see, when you multiply an irrational number, if you multiply a number with root 2, you are multiplying it with 1.414. See, root 2 is approximately equal to 1.414, isn't it? And root 3 is approximately equal to 1.732. We can find it out. So we are multiplying it, but by dividing by the numbers may be a little bit tedious for us. So it is easier for us if we convert them into rational numbers, if we convert them into whole numbers or something. So it will be easier for us to simplify. So that is the reason we rationalize numbers. And the next one we will be seeing is root 3 minus 1 divided by root 3 plus 1. See, this is a term. The numerator also has an irrational term and the denominator also has, and this is equated to a plus b root 3. So this, the answer, when I simplify this LHS, it has to be, the RHS has to be in the form of a plus b root 3, so that I can find out the values of a and b. Now how to find out the values of a and b? As usual, I rationalize this root 3 minus 1 and root 3 plus 1 in the denominator. So the rationalizing factor will be root 3 minus 1, multiply and divide by it, so that I will get root 3 minus 1 the whole squared in the numerator, and in the denominator a squared minus b squared, that is root 3 whole square minus 1 squared. So this will be 3 plus 1 minus 2 root 3. So how does this happen? This is a minus b the whole square. So a squared, root 3 squared is 3, plus b squared, 1 squared is 1, minus 2 ab, 2, 3 into 1, 2 root 3 into 1, that is 2 root 3. And in the denominator I have 3 minus 1. So the numerator will be 4 minus 2 root 3 divided by 2. Now this 2 is common to both 4 and 2. So I split this 2 root 3 by 2. This 2 gets cancelled, and your answer will be 2 minus root 3, and this resembles a plus b root 3 form. Therefore what we get, a is equal to 2 and b is what here? Here this is, there is nothing, coefficient of root 3 is minus 1 here. So b is equal to minus 1. A is equal to 2 and b is equal to minus 1. Now we have understood how do we simplify the term and we equate it to a certain term, that is a plus b root 3, and we find out the values for a and b. Understood? Okay. Just do the simplification process is very easy. Just you need to understand the process of rationalization and you have to simplify the terms accordingly. But be careful when you apply the identities and solving. Okay, you might make mistakes. Now the next one is x plus 2 root 3. Now x plus 2 root 3. Sum is x is equal to 2 plus root 3. You need to find x square plus 1 by x square. So this is your problem, and see you are given with x and you need to find x square plus 1 by x square. In these type of problems you just need to remember where does that x square plus 1 by x square come from. That is, how do we get x plus 1 by x first? X plus 1 by x, then x square plus 1 by x square. So let us see what is x plus 1 by x first. See, x plus 1 by x. Okay, if I know x plus 1 by x, isn't it? Then I'll be able to find out x squared plus 1 by x squared. How? See, take this as a plus b. If I square this, a plus b the whole squared will give me a squared plus b squared plus 2ab, isn't it? So instead of a I write x, and instead of b I write 1 by x. Then if I square it, I get x squared plus 1 by x squared plus 2 times x into 1 by x, where x gets cancelled, and we'll be getting x squared plus 1 by x squared plus 2, isn't it? See, I have the term here, x squared plus 1 by x squared is here, so that I'll get the term x squared plus 1 by x. By bringing the 2 to the side, I have x plus 1 by x the whole square minus 2 is now x squared plus 1 by x squared for me. So, see, I get x squared plus 1 by x squared from x plus 1 by x, isn't it? So, first I need to find x plus 1 by x, then I square it, then I subtract 2 from it to get x squared plus 1 by x squared, isn't it? So, how do I get x plus 1 by x? First, for that, I need to find 1 by x. So, what is 1 by x as usual? See, I have a term in the denominator which has the irrational number. So, multiply and divide by the conjugate. I get 2 minus root 3 divided by 2 squared minus root 3 the whole square. So, 2 minus root 3 divided by 4 minus 3, which is equal to 2 minus root 3 divided by 1, which is 2 minus root 3. So, 1 by x is 2 minus root 3 for me now. So, let us do x plus 1 by x now. What is x? 2 plus root 3. And what is 1 by x? Plus 2 minus root 3. Now, this minus root 3 plus root 3 gets cancelled. So, you get 4 now, isn't it? Now, follow this to get x squared plus 1 by x squared. So, what is x squared plus 1 by x squared? X plus 1 by x the whole square. What is x plus 1 by x? X plus 1 by x is 4 now. So, 4 squared minus 2, that is 16 minus 2, that is 14 form. So, 14 is your x squared plus 1 by x squared. So, do you understand how do we get x is equal to 2 plus root 3 is given? I need to find x squared plus 1 by x squared. X squared plus 1 by x squared is a term which occurs in x plus 1 by x the whole square term, isn't it? So, when I expand x plus 1 by x the whole square, I get x squared plus 1 by x squared minus 2 times x into 1 by x. X gets cancelled. So, bring 2 to the side. So, x plus 1 by x squared, 1 by x the whole square minus 2 will give you x squared plus 1 by x squared. So, now I first find out 1 by x by multiplying and dividing by the conjugate of the denominator, because 1 by x is 1 by 2 plus root 3. Simplifying it, we get 2 minus root 3 and x plus 1 by x. Add this 1 by x and this x to give 4. Okay. So, x squared plus 1 by x is equal to this x plus 1 by x the whole square, isn't it? So, 4 squared minus 2, that is 14. Now, do you understand how easily we get x squared plus 1 by x squared? Just need to correlate with the identity. I need to think about the x squared plus 1 by x squared term and where it occurs, then it will be very easy for me to solve it. Okay, so these are some of the problems. I've solved 6 problems under exponents and rationalization, isn't it? So this class we have seen up to this some problems in rationalization also. So in the next class we'll continue with the rationalization problems and we'll be able to understand more about rationalization. Okay, so that's it for this class and we'll meet in the next class. Until then, it's bye from Anu for Mathschool.1. Thank you.